So we are going to configure the Azure Service Principal credentials into the ServiceNow here. So you can see on the screen, we can log into ServiceNow and go to credential table from the navigation, and we can see this is the credential of the Azure Service Principal. We can click on new and we can choose the Azure Service Principal. So it will pop up with this particular window, and you can put the name can be anything. You can put tenant ID, which is configured into the service into the Azure, and the client ID, and also the secret key. So here you need to click on the submit, and the record of credential will be created here. So I already have that record created, so I'm just uh, cancelling this, and you can see this record I had created. This tenant ID and client ID I pick up from the Azure, and this is the secret key. So now you can see the option discovered subscriptions. So this option will be available once we have the plugin enabled for the cloud management, and we can click on the discover subscription. So once you click here, you can see there will be a discovery status record got created. This, if you open this discovery status record, you can find the ECC queue which is initiated for discovery, which make sure that it is choosing the correct mid server, and also you can find the logs which will show that the discovery is completed. You might get some error here, so you need to check on the right mid server is getting selected, as well as the if any proxy or the communication is blocking by the firewall. So now you can see the mid server which I selected for Azure is mid 400, which is got selected correctly, and that's why this discovery is completed successfully. This is my mid server which I install on the Azure host, and this is the public and private IP for that. It is using the Windows 2022 server operating system, and these are the configurations which we need to look at. So this is the supported applications inside the mid server. Make sure that you have all around, maybe you can choose the respective cloud management and discovery applications. Then you also need to look at the capabilities, which is really important. If you have a mid server dedicated for specific capabilities, so for example, if you want this mid server only used for the Azure operations, you can just choose the Azure REST API, PowerShell, and cloud management as an options, so that it will be good for communicating to specific purpose. So you can choose these options, you can remove all here, and you are good. So apart from that, once you complete this activity, if you want to configure some specific IP ranges to be diverted through this traffic or the mid server, you can do that from here. Then you can also do the multiple things around your configurations parameters, which you can add for debugging and enabling the logs on the mid server. You can use the agent log, which will be debug level logs, which will help give you the more in depth if you are troubleshooting or having any issues. In terms of this particular mid server, which is we ready for us, we can see that the discovery is now successfully completed for subscription, and Azure subscription has new one record. So any number of subscriptions which is attached to your this particular Azure Service Principal will bring here. So you can further see here the information about it, and you can see that this is having limited options. So you need to go to the view and select the view as a cloud provisioning. So This will help you to see more details about this. So you will see the below service account is attached to it, and it is having all the details about the Azure data center. So this will automatically get populated. So now this is the service account table, and you can see that service account is also received with subscription. So now you need to click on the discover data center, so that all these uh, data centers which belongs to this particular subscription will be landed here or discovered here. So once this is done, your all data centers will be populated. You will have around 40 to 50 data centers from Azure, which will help you to serve in the global area. So you can see that here the discovery status is now complete, and we can simply reload this page so that we can monitor the status. If you have large number of infrastructure, it might take uh, a large number of large amount of time. In some cases we have 20 out of 45 on the first page. So all these data centers are populated. Now next step is to create a discovery schedule for this, so that we will be regularly or daily having the discovery of this particular data centers. So now the next step is, once we click on this, you can find that the schedule page. Now you can see we have faced one challenge here. The challenge is we don't have the uh, pattern which is required for this particular discovery and schedule to be created. So we need to install this plugin from the Play Store. So we will do that here. So this discovery pattern plugin is freely available, and you can download for the customer as well as the your free or demo instance. This is usually for production instance. This is usually available on the App Store. So if you did not find this particular plugin into the plugin store, you need to visit to the App Store. So discovery and service mapping patterns, you can see that we try to choose the latest version and click on install. So this is going to be take a little bit more time for installing. It approximately takes 40 to 45 minutes to install this plugin. If you have instance which is maybe a customer instance, there it might take more than an hour also, because it also downloads the CMDB CI class models dependent plugin and the pattern designer plugin. So this is a combination of this. So now this will take good amount of time to complete. Meanwhile we will also uh, look for the discovery result after completing this, because after completing this we need to create a schedule, and based on the schedule we need to allow it to run for some specific time, and then it will have all the virtual machine instance and the all the resources inside the Azure will bring into the CMDB. It will bring all the virtual machine instances into the VM instance class. Along with this particular discovery, so one important thing is this is a cloud discovery which is based on the API. This is different than the IP based discovery, so make sure this point is different, and these two different types of discoveries.